There was once a small town not too far from the city where a young boy named Daniel lived. But Daniel did not live like other children. He had no real home. His father had passed away when he was little, and his mother, though hard-working, could not manage the rent. Life pushed them to the streets. Every evening, Daniel would sit with his mother outside the bus station. They would survive on whatever little food people offered them. Sometimes it was half a sandwich, sometimes just a bottle of water. His mother always smiled at him and said, "One day, things will change." Never stop believing. Daniel was only 12, but he could already feel the weight of the world. He hated begging, but he had no choice. He wanted to help his mother, yet he had nothing to give. One chilly evening, Daniel was walking near the station, asking passers-by if they had spare change. Most ignored him. Some frowned. A few gave him coins without even looking at his face. Then came a tall man in a business suit. Daniel thought, "This man looks rich. Maybe he will help." So Daniel walked up to him and said softly, "Sir, do you have some change? Anything?" The man stopped and looked at him carefully. Instead of giving him money, the man asked, "Do you always ask people for something? Do you ever give anything in return?" Daniel was surprised. He stuttered, "Sir, I'm homeless. I don't own anything. I have nothing to give." The man smiled faintly and said, "Listen, young boy, life is about exchange, give and take. If you only keep asking without ever offering something, you'll never rise. Even if you think you have nothing, you do. Find what you can give. Then people will respect you, not pity you." And with that, the man boarded his bus and left. That night, Daniel could not sleep. The man's words echoed in his mind. Find what you can give. But what could a poor boy like him give? He had no money, no home, no belongings, nothing. The next day, as he sat near the station, his eyes fell on a flower bed nearby. Yellow daisies were growing wild, untouched. Suddenly, an idea struck him. He thought, maybe I can pick a flower and give it to people who give me something. At least they'll smile. Maybe that's worth something. So Daniel picked a few flowers. That evening, whenever someone gave him coins or food, he offered them a flower in return. Some laughed in surprise. Some smiled warmly. Some even stopped to thank him. For the first time, Daniel felt he was not just begging. He was trading, giving, creating joy. Days passed. Daniel continued his new habit. More people began to notice him. Instead of ignoring him, they looked forward to seeing him. Some even started bringing him extra food, saying, "Here's for you, and keep the flower. It makes my day." Within weeks, Daniel realized he was receiving more than before. Not because people felt sorry for him, but because they felt happy to take something back. He had unknowingly learned the greatest rule of life. People respect givers, not takers. One evening, months later, Daniel was standing with his flowers when he suddenly saw the same tall man in a business suit, waiting for a bus. His heart raced. Daniel ran to him and said, "Sir, do you remember me? Last time you told me I must give something in return. Look, I give flowers now." The man looked at him astonished. Daniel quickly picked a few daisies and handed them to him. The man chuckled and gave him a $5 bill. "You've learned the lesson," the man said. "You are no longer just a beggar. You are a small businessman now." The words hit Daniel deeply. For the first time in his life, he didn't see himself as a beggar anymore. He saw himself as someone who could create, trade, and grow. That night, he told his mother with shining eyes, "I am not a beggar anymore. I am a businessman." Months turned into years. Daniel never stopped working on his idea. He bought more flowers from a wholesale market, then began selling them outside the station. His simple flower stand slowly grew. He treated his little trade seriously, always smiling, always giving people a reason to stop. The same people who once ignored him now admired him. As time passed, Daniel expanded from selling flowers to selling snacks and coffee. He worked tirelessly, always remembering the man's words, "Find what you can give." One bright afternoon, nearly 6 years later, Daniel stood behind the counter of his very own small restaurant near the station. The sign above read, "Daniel's Kitchen, food with love." As fate would have it, the tall man in the suit walked in. His hair was grayer now. The sign above read, "Daniel's Kitchen, food with love." As fate would have it, the tall man in the suit walked in. His hair was grayer now, but Daniel recognized him instantly. "Sir," Daniel said with excitement, "do you remember me? The boy who used to beg here. You told me to give something in return." The man stared in disbelief. Daniel smiled and continued, "The flowers turned me from a beggar into a giver. Now I run this restaurant, and everything I serve here is cooked with the same belief that giving brings respect." The man shook his hand firmly and said, "I am proud of you, Daniel. You are proof that the right mindset can change a life." Daniel's story spread through the town. People admired not just his success, but the way he transformed his identity. From a homeless boy with nothing, he became a respected restaurant owner, all because he chose to give instead of only taking. And the lesson is clear for all of us. If you see yourself as small, you will remain small. If you change your thinking, your life will change. Success is not about what you have, but about what you choose to give. So remember, never say, "I have nothing." Everyone has something to give, even if it is just a smile, a kind word, or a flower. Because when you give, the world gives back to you in ways you can never imagine. Moral of the story: success begins with your mindset. Don't see yourself as a beggar of life. See yourself as a giver, and life will make you rich.